What's up everyone, it's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Please follow my Instagram at RussoLifts, just in case something happens to this YouTube channel. You can follow, message, and you can watch my daily story content on Instagram. I'll see you there. What's up everyone, it's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. So bringing you back into the mini TREN plus IGF quarantine comeback cycle. This is going to be more of a rant addressing the previous comments in the last video, as well as updating everyone, as well as providing some insight as far as my goals, because I do read through all the comments. I appreciate everyone who takes the time, whether good or negative, to write me a comment. Seriously, thank you so much for participating on my channel. I'm glad that this content proves useful to a lot, or entertaining for whatever reason you find me entertaining for. That being said, what has happened so far? So I have not implemented AI protocol. I was waiting to see, the water retention as the test slowly creeped in, because it is cypionate, so it's building up in the system. So as you see in the first TREN video, which I'm going to throw up right now, I'm much more cut, much more defined. This is when the test really hasn't stacked up. Again, we're not running an aromatase inhibitor to control that extra estrogen. And I was way more cut. You can see way more lines. It was just basically the microdose TREN, cutting and dicing and popping everything up in the IGF binding with the muscles. Now, as you see in this footage, and by the way, this is on the new FX9. I hope you guys are enjoying the quality. I apologize for the last video talking about hypersex drive and steroids. If you just stopped in, be sure to check that out. But apologize with the microphone. Again, it's an independent channel XLR mic, so I had the gain up. It sounded good on my computer. I do agree it was too low. I apologize, won't happen again. But this camera's a bitch to work with. I had to download a bunch of new software to deal with it. But moving forward, I'm really gonna try and use this as my daily driver camera. I hope you guys enjoy the bump in quality, because it's sick, and this is only my first attempt with grading this type of footage and working with this type of footage, so it's only going to get crispier moving forward. So hope everyone enjoys the new camera, and you're going to compare it to my my old camera before I got this job, being a content creator for Russ and Narrows and the other brands he runs. So I'll be comparing it to the A7S footage. Jumping back after talking about the camera nerd shit. So, like I said, water retention is stacking up. I do still have, separation within my muscles, but you can see in my face that there's more water retention going on, and I will be implementing an AI protocol just to tone that down a bit. As far as the scale goes, so that day I documented my weight at 242 pounds. I just jumped on the scale, and it is 7 at night on a Sunday, so this was a couple days after this footage. And my weight is 246 at night, so probably a 243, 244 morning weigh-in now. So my scale, the weight is creeping up, most likely intracellular water retention from the test being added in. I think people forget that this quarantine cycle I was on 165 milligrams, old man HRT, wanted to completely detox, take a break, nothing crazy, and see what I can maintain on just a constant androgen level, right? Natural testosterone spikes, whereas, exogenous testosterone is a constant androgen level. So just, I was basically as close to natty as I was going to be until, I'm done with my fitness career and stuff. But yeah, I was just seeing, what I can maintain. Obviously, my weight shot up from the exogenous whey over TRT test. And the test right now, for those who are wondering, is around 300 to 350. And then the TREN is still being microdosed, less than 50 a day, honestly. Just trying to keep it at 200 a week. And I'll creep it up for 1 week. That's it. Overall, I'm already starting to not like the TREN. I'm going to make a different video mentally how TREN affects me. But, not enjoying it so far. And it's not like aggression. I'm going to do a full different video on it. But yeah, the mental effects of TREN, already not a fan, and all the androgens I have experienced with it's by far the weirdest. And it also interacts with THC, so from my intro stay high all the time. I don't really like smoking with combination of TREN, because I just feel TREN and the THC battling in the brain, because TREN passes through the blood-brain barrier. So yeah, as far as my sleep goes, it's already getting messed up from the TREN. Again, TREN's horrible, and this is at this low of a dosage of acetate. Again, I'm going to creep it up just a little bit for 1 week to see how I look and to see how I respond. But yeah, I can never recommend TREN ever. This was just to document, just how crazy it was with the sensitivity to IGF when it comes to sensitizing the muscle to IGF. That was what this cycle was about to document. Moving into that, I really wanted to go through some of the comments I saw in the comment section, because some people just aren't on the same page as I am, and I wanted to give my personal input. And you can feel free to comment down below and argue or agree with me. But the top comment by Ep2, big fan of the Misfits and Janoi Kresva, so Piss Trooper here too, says, from experimenting with SARMs to TREN plus GH. So just FYI, TREN is referred to in medical studies, I'll throw it up right now, to having SARM-like characteristics. So in the same boat as YK11 being selective, high binding affinity, TREN's very similar to SARMs. As far as looks go, TREN, S23, very similar look in my opinion. Obviously TREN has, the ability of being a steroid, whereas, SARMs don't convert to things and other things. Very similar look. That being said, the previous cycle in my mind, man, come on, dude. Injectable LGD, pushing it to the max like I did, doing that insane cycle versus microdosing TREN with a little bit of test, it's not apples to oranges here, right? This cycle's not anywhere, over the risk barrier of the last cycle. The last cycle was way more sketch and way more documentary focused than this comeback cycle. So I don't really understand. The previous cycle had MK677, which is a GH pathway secretagogue. So I don't understand that. Like, SARMs, steroids, synthetic androgens, point blank, synthetic androgens. All synthetic androgens basically do the same thing, interacting with the androgen receptor. Some convert to things, some don't. Some cause certain looks. But at the end of the day, they're all synthetic androgens. There's this SARM and gear, people who want to argue with each other. I really changed a lot of people's minds. I have hardcore gear people in my DMs who are like, "Green, you're playing around. S23 is no joke, but it has all the side effects of steroids, of a high oral steroid." Again, they're very similar. Synthetic androgens. I just don't understand that, especially coming from that last cycle, which in my opinion, much more nervous about than this little 4-week, 5-week microdosing of TREN just to creep down. So this is my physique. Again, weighing in at 242 in this footage, morning weight. So I just want to give you a glimpse of how this cycle was supposed to play out. So last year I did a recomposition cycle. I'm going to put it up now. So I bulked up and then I cut back down to under 227 pounds, and that's how I looked. This time, COVID happened, out of my control, and I decided to go off, detox, my little HRT, go, completely shrink back up. It's going to take me a while to get back, and that's what this cycle is all about, watching the crazy metamorphosis of having the, muscle nuclei to have the androgens receptors pop back up, be super sensitive. But this is the look that I'm going to beat, and I've already achieved this look. So saying I don't have muscle under all this fat and water is wrong. So moving forward, I will be competing classic physique NPC. So that's the goal.